Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. It is I, Gayla, and welcome back to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated. And today we have a book haul. So I have been doing some shopping in the month of June. As the thumbnail says, this is a June book haul. It's probably going to be a little longer than my other videos, so get a coolant. It is hot. It is July 6th, and I am hot. So if you hear something, and I noticed in the last few videos, you might have heard something, that's because my ceiling fan is right above me, and I have been running it, and plus it's also the light and stuff like that. But let's get started. I was sweating. I had to sit here for a minute and get myself together because I actually wanted some hot coffee today, and I had it, but let's get started. So I'm so excited to talk about all these books. I'm also a little scared because I did some damage in the month of June. So let's just get started. There's no rhyme or reason of all these books around me and how I'm going to, I mean, I have them in stacks. So some are from Barnes, some from Dollar Tree, some from a festival I went to. Things are happening in the book space. So let's get started. So I want to first start with these first few books. I went to the Bronx is Reading Bronx Book Fest. And this is the bag that we got. Let me tell you right there. So you see it? So that was a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to even act like I remembered what the date was. I'll probably have it up on the screen. But the Bronx is Reading, the Bronx Book Festival, and I went, had a lovely time. It was all day. My book club members went. I saw them. I was just in the cut, in the shade, because I'm a woman of a particular age and I had to stay hydrated and cool. So let's call a thing a thing. I actually wound up going back to my car and getting my chair at one point. I didn't know you can bring them in. But anywho, the book that started off the day was The House of Broken Angels. And so that was the book that was given in the bag. And so everyone got a different book. For the most part, I know there were several people that got this book. I think it was like maybe 4 books in circulation. So that was the first one that I got. It's by Luis Alberto Urrea. I have no clue who this author is, so I'm ready, excited about reading who this author is. He is a Pulitzer Prize finalist from the landmark work of his nonfiction, The Devil's Highway, and he's also is known for his novel, The Hummingbird Daughter. New author to me. This one says, immensely charming and moving, a big epic story about how it is to love with all of your heart and all of your family, regardless of which side of the border they live on. So that was the book that was given to us when we entered into the festival. And then while there, I realized the girl have a lot of books. So there were a lot of authors there, and your girl just had a lot of books, and it just was what it was. I didn't have to buy a lot because I didn't need to, and that's a good thing. But I did pick up 3 books. One of the very first books I bought was Legend Born by Tracy Dion. Now, I didn't need this book, but this is the special cover. How can you not pick this one up? So now I'm on a search for the other ones. Look at that. Look at that. It's awesome. So this was the first purchase. And then I picked up Vanessa Jarvis Got a Man by LaQuette. So I bought the first one. I think this is a series. I'm not sure, but I know this was the first. And this is the book that I got for my birthday. And I knew I wanted to get the first one, which is this. This is the second one, and this is the first one. So I saw that I had purchased the second one for my birthday, and so I wanted to be able to have both. So I picked that one up, and I was very intentional about buying books because I just didn't want to buy books to buy books. So that was one. And then last but not least, this was kind of one of those ones you see at the corner of your eye and you're like, what is that called? What is that about? And this is titled Off the Record, a story too explosive to keep quiet by Cameron Garrett. New author to me. I believe it's a YA. And it says, sometimes it's hard to remember that your voice is important until the world reminds you. This is about a journalist who was going through her journey in writing about like a popular person. And I guess there's probably backlash. That's what I'm gathering, where it's called Off the Record. Look at that. And that's a beautiful cover. I love it. And then, so those were the 4 books that I got from the Bronx's Reading Book Festival. People were like bringing cards. I bought my card as well. I thought it was going to be more books that I was going to buy. But in all honesty, I buy a lot of books. So there was not a lot of books that I had to buy. That was good and bad at the same time. It made me realize I need to come home and read my doggone books. So there was an open field where we sat, and I sat by a group of young ladies, and we kind of held one another down. Like, we held our space while someone went to the bookstore, while someone went to the bathroom, someone get something to eat. And one young lady was there, and she bought, and there was vendors, and you can buy like stickers and book chains and all the things. And she gave me a book chain, and it was so cute. It's called One More Chapter. This was it. A keychain, and that was the bottom of it. And it also came with some stickers, and she let me pick out some stickers, which I thought was super cool. She was super nice. One said book trovert. This is the Kindle of a read. This is a Kindle of a read. Sorry, I'm booked. Romance, book spot. Bookmarks are for quitters. That's cute. And then I have one just like a bunch of books together. So I thought that was super cool, and she was super cool. Spicy Book Club. So I got some great things, and met some cool people, and had just a really good time. It was like kind of like a day. Free parking is always a thing, so that was great. So that's the first set. Let me get this, stop talking, because this video is already about 6 minutes. So then the next set of books I got from Dollar Tree, and this was like a one-off. I was just going to Dollar Tree to go to Dollar Tree like I always do, and this day I hit the jackpot. I got 6 books while I was there. So one is Elegant Rage by Brittany Cooper. I've read this before, and it's about, you know, being in a body of like a black woman and how you navigate life. It says a dissertation on black women's pain and possibility. This was really a good read, and it's probably going to be a second read for me. Eloquent Rage, a black feminist discover her superpower. So I found that book. Then I found Girls with Bad Reputation by Zio Axelroy. I've butchered her name, I'm so sorry. But I have with The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes, so I figured I'd pick this one up as well. Then the next one, I've been going back and forth whether or not I was gonna buy it, and I saw it, so I picked it up. The Townsend Family Recipe for Disaster by Shawn Robinson. She's that newscaster. No, she's not. I thought that was her, but it's not her. But I do have another book by her, The Banned Bookshop. So yeah, this has been, no, it's not The Banned Bookshop. But it is The Banned Bookshop. I have that book by her as well. So I've been wanting to read more by this author. Then this is also new to me, but I was like, why not pick it up? It is titled All That We Are Together. It's an international bestseller by Alice Keelan. And this is a trilogy. A duology, and the other one is All That We Never Were. Okay. And then Robin Roberts, we do know her. Brighter by the Day. This is her kind of memoir. And so it says, bring hope and optimism in every day with Robin Roberts, quintessential warmth, positivity, and encouragement. And last but not least, I just looked at it and I was like, this seems cool. It's called Sisters in Paradise by Carolyn Brown. You can always come home, but be prepared for surprises. And so I picked that up as well. So these were all from the Dollar Tree. So let me get this down here. I have so many books all around me, good Lord. Just the other day, I picked this up. I was in Brooklyn. Me and my friends were together. I was with a friend. And we were just walking in Brooklyn, and this bookstore, independent bookstore, I had been by there before. They had some book, like a street sale, and this book was actually $4. Red Clay by Charles B. Fancher. This is a popular book, so I wound up paying $4 for that hardcover. Great. And then this was another Barnes and Noble buy. I just happened to be there one day just doing some work in the school year, and I wanted to pick this book up, of course, The Summer Girlfriend by Christina Forrest. So this is on everyone's reading list. I'm probably going to start this in the next 2 weeks. And then a Golden Girls Cozy Mystery, Death on the Lanai. So this is the second one. The first one is Death by Cheesecake, I believe. I haven't read that yet, but I was like, I gotta follow this up. And so I purchased that one as well. And since we are on the Barnes and Noble train, let's get started with these Barnes and Noble books. So a couple of days later, I was at Barnes and Noble again, and they had a cart, 50% off books. And then they also was having a buy one, get one 50% off. So the 50% off, I got Love You to Death by Christina Dawson. It says, how well do we really know our friends? As Black women crashing an antebellum themed wedding, Kayla and Zori should have known their heist was doomed from the start. They should never have come, but when their financial situation became dire, they agreed to hit one last wedding. And that's what made me get it. I don't know nothing about this author's work, but I said, that sounds like fun. And then the other one, I got it simply because it talks about the summer. It says The Last Carolina Summer. Beloved bestseller author Karen Wright returns with a captivating Southern drama about sisterhood, secrets, and one woman's reckoning with the past. And so that sounds good to me. So a couple of these books I'm probably going to take on vacation when I do go. So that was the Barnes and Noble set. This is crazy. And so we have another another Dollar Tree set of books. So this one is titled Among the Falling by Virginia Frances Schwartz. And these are usually books I don't know about, but they sound super interesting. It said, the letter waits on the floor of my cell after we return from supper. One out of the corner of my eye, I see letters in other cells too. This letter is a trap from a man, most likely. No one could write like that except one. Sweetening his words like a peppermint hummingbird, one would bait a child with. But we are knowing here. No man writes a letter to one such as us unless he wants something. So these are about enslaved people or enslaved women. And then I got another one, The Deepest Black by Randall Silvis. Where does the line blur between fact and fiction? This is like a mystery book. That looked pretty good, so I picked that one up. And then this one was cute. By Valerie Bertinelli, Learning to Love the Way I Am Today, Enough Already. And I grew up with her on the screen, so I figured I'd hear about her story. I got a lot of my autobiographies from the Dollar Tree. So that's the other set. So that's 3 right there. I'm trying to keep them where I can count them at the end. And so I have one more stack of books. And so I'm going to start with some Dollar Trees, some more Dollar Trees. So this one is Mika in Real Life by Emiko Jean. And this one is a novel. It says, in this brilliant new novel from the New York Times bestselling author Emiko Jean comes a whip-smart, laugh-out-loud, funny, and utterly heartwarming story about motherhood, daughterhood, and love, how we find it, keep it, and how it always returns. And I think that's why I bought it, because it's about mother and daughter relationships. So that was a Dollar Tree book. And then the other one, The Daughters of Midori. I do not want to butcher this lady's name. Yes, so I'm going to put this on screen. I thought that was super cool. I felt like it was a theme happening that day. It says, how far would you go to protect the ones you love? So that was one that was interesting. And then we have some more Barnes and Noble books. So I didn't realize this book was a thing, and I'm glad I got it. Not that I'm always buying books at Arthur Things at the time, but it just sounded really good, and I was in my spooky bag. It says, when a woman vanishes from a luxury Chicago hotel, the prime suspect and the lead detective must uncover the truth before they become part of the city's long ignored pattern of disappearance. And this is Strangers Behind Closed Doors by Catherine Adele West. And then that day, I also picked up a pair of Aces, New York Times bestselling authors of The Personal Librarian by Christopher Victoria Murray and Marie Benedict. And I was unable to go to their book talk tour here in New York. I had to work that evening. So I'm so happy I was able to pick up this book. So I'm super excited about this. And then I got that book during, I was going to pick up Breakout because I couldn't go to this. I had signed up for it and then I got a last minute client. So this is Breakout by Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Ashley Woodfork, Nicole Yearn, Angie Thomas, and Donnell Clayton. When rich kids play, someone has to pay. And so yeah, that's that. Now they also did Blackout and Whiteout. I have Blackout, I don't have Whiteout, and this was Breakout, so I got to get Whiteout. And these, I think these are YA thriller mysteries, so I got that. And then I went upstairs because that's what you do when you go to Barnes and Noble and 14th Street to see what is happening in the books that are like clearance or deeply discounted. And so one of the books that I saw that I always wanted to read, never read this author. This books get really good reviews, but I didn't really want to pay for it, but it was $8, so I said this is the time to get it. Never by Jessa Hastings. So that was an $8 book. So I felt, hey, let's get it. And then another book that I got, old school author Donna Hill, Confessions in B Flat. I thought I would pick that up about this cover. It's gorgeous. And then I like things with coffee, wine, tea, or anything in it. So by Susan Gabrielle, Tea Leaf Secrets. And this is not the only one, so now I'm probably going to be on the lookout of all of the things. It says, a legacy to fulfill, a long hidden secret, a shocking climax to the trilogy that began with Temple Streets and Gullah Secrets. And I like that part of history, talking about the Gullah Islands. And so I'm probably going to look up, probably on Book Outlet, the other two books. And so I got those as well. So these also came from Barnes and Noble. And then this probably came from Barnes and Noble too, because it's just a newer book. Annabelle Monaghan, Dolly All the Time, sorry. And so I read her other books and I really enjoyed them. And so I said, you know what, let's just continue. I really enjoyed Same Time Next Summer. And it's a love story and summer romance. Ironically, I never read Nora Goes Off Script, but I've been enjoying her reading and I have a couple of her books. So this is her latest one, Dolly All the Time. So I figured I'd add that too. It's also feel like a summer read as well. And last but not least, I picked up Revive Me, and I don't even think it was like officially out, but I walked past it and I was like, I know I have the first two. I have to get this one. So this is Revive Me Part 3, The Apology by J.L. Seeger. So I have Restore Me, which is the first book. Then I have Revive Me Part 1, Revive Me Part 2, and this is Revive Me Part 3. So that's the fourth book in the New Haven series, and there's 6 books and they're all the new covers. So that was what I bought. So, oh my Lord. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Shut up, don't talk about me. Oh, this feels bad. 17, 18, 19, 20. And then the 4 from the festival, that would be 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 books. I'm a tad bit embarrassed. I bought 30 books in the month of June. I think that calls for a book ban, a little one at least. I'm so happy I'm going away in a couple of weeks. Yeah, so when my mom sees this video, she is going to have some things to say, as she should, but it is what it is. So I have 30 new books. Yikes. So we got to get to reading. So we are going to get to reading. Like, we're reading now. Like, when I get off this, I'm going to be reading for like the next 20 million days. But that's what I bought in the month of June. I don't regret it. I know it can be excessive to some people, and I get it. And I'm not saying it's not. It can be. But I do read my books. I love my books. If that's my vice, that's my vice. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read. And so I'm going to get to cracking some of these books sooner than later, and I'm going to probably start making more content because I do want to read my books, and the summertime is where I read a lot more than usual sometimes. And so, yeah, we're going to do it. So today in the comments, in the chat, drop a book stack. You don't have to suggest any books at all, but out of the 30 books that I told you I bought, which are like your top, let's say your top 3. Your top 3 that looks good to you, and which you will read, and that you're interested in reading, or some books that you never heard of. And yeah, so drop in the chat a book stack, your top 3 books out of the 30 that I presented, and see which ones you will read. And then after all of that, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video. Deuces, bye, stay cool.